Hello everybody and welcome back to the Delicious Nutritionist YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me today. So for those who are new to my channel, I'm actually half Turkish, which takes people by most surprise. I'm Turkish on my dad's side, and so I'm lucky enough to go to Turkey every year and see my family. And my grandma is a very good cook, and so I sat down with her and she gave me Turkish recipes, which I want to share with you. So I'm going to be sharing 3 of my favourite Turkish recipes with you. Now, as well as a foodie, I'm also a registered associate nutritionist, and I believe that you guys deserve to be the best possible version of yourselves, and so I give one-to-one nutrition consultations virtually and in person, and delicious recipes like this. Now, last summer I went to Bodrum, which is in the southwestern Aegean region of Turkey, and I asked my grandma, who I call babaanne, that's Turkish for grandma, and I said, I would love to know these favourite recipes, which is mucver, basically Turkish fritters, fasulye, which is like green beans and tomato, and dolma, which is stuffed courgette and pepper. It's a really hot summer and she showed me how to do all these recipes, and I scribbled it down in my homemade recipe book, and now I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So this is a really kind of grandma Turkish recipe for you. And in terms of nutrition, the Mediterranean diet is like one of the best diets to follow. If my client wants the Mediterranean diet, I give meal plans all based on this diet because it's very good. It's full of mono unsaturated fats. It's got plenty of fruit and vegetables in. Olive oil is great for the heart health, and that'll be a key component of these recipes. Now we're going to start off with mucver, which is the courgette fritters. Now you could add feta to this, you could add chili if you like it hot. I like mine plain with a lot of mint. It's nice and fresh. My grandma always makes it. You can have it hot and cold. You can have it as a snack, dinner, lunch. You can have it between bread. They always go down so fast. I always steal them off the plate before dinner without my grandma noticing because they're so yummy. Now to start off, you're going to need 3 courgettes. Cut the ends off and grate them. After they're grated, they're full of moisture, so you want to put them in a sieve, sprinkle a little bit of salt and let them weep and give them a good squeeze. Let them weep with the salt for around 5 minutes and all the water should come out. This gives a nice crisp texture to the mucver. If the water is in there, it won't fry well. After that, after giving it a good squeeze, heat 3 tablespoons of olive oil in a frying pan and put 1 chopped onion and 4 garlic cloves in there. Fry until they begin to colour, then remove from the heat. Now we're going to make an almost batter. So in a bowl, put 3 tablespoons of plain flour along with 3 eggs and beat that up till it forms a smooth batter. Now you're going to add a bunch of chopped parsley, a bunch of chopped dill and a bunch of chopped fresh mint into the batter and season it with some pepper. Now this is a point, if you want to add feta cheese and chili, you can add that now. And that is pretty much it. Now we just need to cook it. So in a large pan, you're going to put enough sunflower oil for shallow frying. And once it's hot, you're going to drop in around 4 blobs of the mixture. And these will crisp up. So when they're ready, they'll become golden and crispy, and just take them out and put them on a plate that has tissue paper on it to soak up the fat. And you can have them hot, crispy or cold, and that's it. And they're absolutely delicious. Really, really good. These are just so good. Next up is another very Turkish recipe, and it's called dolma. And we're going to be stuffing courgette and pepper today with minced beef. And dolma is pretty much the term used for anything that is stuffed. Think of vegetables, fruit, fish, and even people in a taxi. That's where the famous dolma comes from. And you're very squished in there, believe me. This makes a really, really good supper. It's very balanced and healthy. So you're going to need 3 courgettes. You're going to peel them and cut them in half. And then you're going to get a peeler and just take out the middle bit, which will form a cavity which you can stuff. Next up, you're going to chop up 1 onion, and just like with the mucver, you're going to have a bunch of parsley, dill and mint, and you're going to remove the stalks and chop up the leaves and mix it in with the onion. Remember not to throw away the middle bit of the courgette because that can be used for something else like a soup. You are then going to add a small handful of rice and bulgur to the onion mix. To this mix, you're going to add half a chopped tomato, 250 grams of minced beef, half a glass of water, around a quarter of a glass of water, and half a teaspoon of salt. With the peppers, you can do something very similar. You're going to need around 5 peppers. You can choose red or yellow, my favourite, but you can use any colour you want. Remove the stalk and the seeds, and then you're going to stuff this minced beef onion mixture into the courgette and peppers. You are then going to stack upright the courgettes and peppers in a large saucepan and dot around the top with a few little sprinkles of butter over the top, along with 1 tablespoon of tomato puree. You're then going to add water to halfway up the veg and cook for 30 minutes on medium heat. You can put the lid on as well. Next up is my favourite cold meze. It's called fasulye. It's the green beans and tomato. When it's cooked, it goes so soft and sweet. It is incredible, with a lot of olive oil to mop up with some fresh bread. This recipe has survived from the Ottoman Empire. It's a very old traditional recipe. I eat it at room temperature, but you can have it warm as well with some fish or whatever you fancy it with. This will serve around 4 people. 500 grams of beans, trim the ends off, and then you want to cut it in half and cut it lengthways if it's really long. Do that for 500 grams. In a saucepan, you want to put a bit of olive oil in, chop half an onion, add it to it, and a garlic clove chopped as well, also add it to the pan. You then want to add half a chopped tomato to the pan with half a teaspoon of salt. Then add the beans to the saucepan, and then add the half chopped tomato again, so you're using 1 tomato in total. Then you want to put the lid on and cook it for around 1 hour on medium heat, and it'll go so soft and beautiful. Now, if it goes a bit brown, don't be afraid to add some water. Just make sure it doesn't burn. Thank you so much for watching this video and taking the time out. I really hope that you enjoy these Turkish recipes, and I hope you get to make them one day and enjoy it with your family. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. I'd love to spread the word about the Delicious Nutritionist YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.